West side. It's Big Bread Governor, hotter than the oven. So my 40 counts my gal, and yes, I'm loving her. Always shoving slugs.
What's poppin'? We back at it. It's another one, you know what I mean? I'm pumping them out now. I'm loving this YouTube stuff. You're getting content from me more consistently, and we're gonna break down what's going on. So I need y'all to hit that like from me, man. Come on, support your boy. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get this channel out there. Let's let people know, that they can, actually defend themselves in court, protect themselves. They can sue people on their own. And if you don't got the money to pay high amounts to these lawyers, you could do your thing. So go on and support this channel, man. But without further ado, like I told y'all, on the first, if you watch How to Represent Yourself in Court, in Civil Court, Part 1 and Part 2, I told y'all I was gonna give a little story time on how I actually end up getting into all this. Cause I know a lot of people are like, man, they know me for rapping and, some street life stuff. So this is like a contrast. But I'm older now, so people grow up, and I got a passion for doing this now. And as promised, I'm gonna show y'all the video of the incident that catapulted me into doing all this and what made me start pursuing cases on my own. So just to give you some context, this video that I'm about to show you, I was parking in San Francisco. You already know how that is. It's a beat. We're gonna keep it YouTube friendly. Parking in San Francisco is a beat. You gotta park at meters, or it's 2-hour parking, 1-hour parking, whatever. So I parked at a meter. I had about 8 minutes on there, and everybody know in San Francisco, a quarter gives you a minute. So I had 8 minutes on the meter. I ran into a store, and it definitely only took me 5 minutes. Maybe it took 8, but definitely no more than 10. By the time I get out, it's already a ticket on my car. So I'm confused as to, I had 8 minutes on the meter. I wasn't in this place more than 8 minutes. How do I already have a ticket? That means even if it did run out the 8 minutes, he was already had the ticket written up right when my time expired. And most meter maids, or whatever they call these dudes, parking traffic officers, will give you a little bit of a grace period, at least a minute or two, will give you a chance to come refill the meter or leave. So nah, I already had a ticket. So like most people, I was hot. You get a ticket, you be hot, especially if you put money in the meter. So me, I'm like, look, where this fool at? I'm looking all up the block. I said, I'm gonna go up the block and find him. We're gonna question him, confront him about this, because I didn't put money in the meter and have time on the meter to get a ticket. And the ticket was like $80, $75 for 5 minutes of my time. So boom, I push up the block, I see him out there. I'm like, mind you, I came at him polite, because I already knew I was a little bit upset. I'm like, I'm not gonna come at him sideways. I'm gonna come at him polite so that, we can have some rapport. He can be like, okay, do this X, Y, and Z. So I push up. I was like, hey man, I just got a ticket down there, man, but I had time on the meter. Off the rip, dude was rude. He's like, man, hey, take it up with the city. If you don't like it, don't park in my city. I mean, just rude. So I'm like, yo, man, why you coming at me like that, bro? I'm just trying to ask you a question. You ain't gotta get at me like that. I know you feel, high and mighty. You got a little position of authority. So now you trying to act all big and bad, you know what I'm saying? But, why you can't just be polite about it? He's like, oh man, basically, I can't remember verbatim what he said, but paraphrasing, it was real disrespectful. Like, oh, well, if you don't like it, you pay it or go protest it. So I'm like, dude, you being real rude, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't talk to me like that if you didn't have that uniform on and you didn't have the police on speed dial on you, because if I do anything to you, you're gonna call the police. Man, it was like, I don't give a F about this uniform. I don't care. This uniform don't mean nothing, basically. And I said, dude, you wouldn't talk to me like that if you didn't have a uniform on. He's like, what? Basically, long story short, he told me he would show me an ass whooping. So basically, he told me he would kick my ass. So when you see this video, that's when it started, because something clicked in my head to record them, because I've never had a parking traffic person, meter maid, whatever you want to call them, talk to me like that. So I knew something was wrong, so my wherewithal was there to record this fool. And it was a good thing I did, because this actually saved me from catching time, actual time, because dude lied on me. And we're gonna break all that down when we come back from the video. This actually, me recording this video, it saved me from going to actual California State Prison, because yes, I had actual prison charges, and we're gonna break all that down when we come back from, after y'all see this video. And after the fact, this video also helped me get a judgment from the SFPD and a settlement from the SFMTA. So without further ado, I'm gonna let y'all peep the little video, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna break everything down. And this is how I got into doing all the legal stuff. This is how I started pursuing law, studying for the LSAT, and actually suing companies and entities on my own, because I'll break down how much the lawyers was gonna charge me, and how the public defender situation was. We're gonna get into it. We talked about civil on the last 2 videos, but now we're gonna break down some criminal stuff. So if y'all ready, check this out. If you watched the part 1 and part 2 of my last videos, well, I told you we was gonna be talking about criminal, and I was gonna break it down. So here we go.
Show me a what?
Look at you.
You gonna show me a what?
What?
You gonna show me? Now
What?
you don't gotta say it. Now you don't want to say it, huh?
Yo, no.
Now you don't want to say it, huh?
No.
You's a man.
Yeah.
You's a straight. Yeah. Look how you acting. Look how you acting. Look how you acting. 142.
Yeah.
Parking control.
Touch me.
See, a straight. You won't do. You won't do.
Get up. You ain't getting nothing off. Nothing off.
You touch me. You touch my phone. Show bitch ass.
Come on, guys.
Now, did you see that? Now that was cold. Now, you can't tell me that meter maid wasn't on something. Didn't he look high or something? He was tripping, wasn't he? Like, before I started recording, he told me he was gonna show me an ass whooping. So that's why I was asking him, like, you gonna show me what? And I started recording him so he could furthermore, you know, show how he was acting. But for YouTube, we had to, you know, edit out all the cussing. There was a lot of foul language on my part and his. But he's supposed to be the professional one. He talking about touch me, MF, call me bees, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, dude, it's finna go left. Let me get up out of here. I'm just telling him, you know, you or whatever, right? So as I'm walking away, if y'all notice, you probably have to watch it again. He was like, I'll F you up. So that's when I'm like, man, you won't do nothing. You won't do S, right? I did come back on him. I got his badge number with the phone, so I put the phone up to him. He swing on me, but he knocked the phone out. When he swung, he knocked the phone halfway down the block. So that's when you hear all the skirmishing and scuffling. I think I did retaliate with a 1 piece, but mainly I was trying to get my phone because I already knew it was about to go left because he fighting me. But if you listen carefully in the background, he's like, come here, I'm trying to get my phone. He's coming after me, he's still swinging on me. So at this point, I'm like, you know, like if you play football and you play defense, you play linebacker, or even if you play safety, you know how to shed a blocker. So I'm doing, you know, using this weight against him. So I'm kind of slanging him, but he grabbing me. By the time it was over, he had ripped my shirt, pulled my shirt over my head, because he won't let me go. So that whole time I'm trying to get my phone, I had to exert my energy, you know, to get my phone. So finally I ended up getting my phone and I get up out of there. So this was like in February of 2018. So nothing happened. But I had a feeling he called the police, you know what I mean? But At that moment, nothing happened. I got up out of there. I don't know if he called the police or not. So fast forward to like May, the same year, I'm riding this in the city and I have 10 on the window. I get pulled over for the 10. Now, mind you, I'm sitting there like, it's a fix-it ticket, but it's taking forever. So at that point, I had forgot about that incident, right? So the ticket taking forever, I'm like, and it hit me. Damn, I might got a warrant. And sure enough, they come back to the car, step out the car, ooh, you got a warrant. And did I ever have a warrant? This is the surety bond for my bill. You can see that, $75,000. Bro, what did I do for a $75,000 warrant? So they had me with assault, causing great bodily injury. I had like 2 counts of that. Assault on a peace officer, which mind you, a meter maid is not a peace officer. So if something ever happens to you like that, they're not peace officers. A peace officer is sworn in, they can carry a gun, and they can arrest people, okay? Meter maids give tickets. All you do is write ticket. Like on Players Covenant, all you do is spin record. All they do is write tickets. They don't arrest people, they don't carry guns, they can't do none of that. They're not sworn in, peace officers. So anyway, man, I'm hot. I'm like, man, woo. I'm like, man, we're not gonna tow your car. You can leave it parked here, but we gotta take you in. $75,000. So boom, I get down to the station. I'm hot. They take me to 850. They want me to, suit out. I'm like, nah, I'm belling out. I told myself I was never putting that orange on again, especially for some stuff I didn't do. I'm like, man, dude swung on me. I was just defending myself. And I'm like, man, I got it on video. I'll show y'all right now. They're like, you have to take that up in court. So that's what happened, man. I was facing 10 years. I think after preliminary and all that, I was facing 11 years in prison. 2 counts of assault with great bodily injury and an assault on a peace officer. That each of the great bodily injuries held 5 to 6 years, and the assault on a peace officer holds a year. So it was after my prelim, my public defender, she said I was facing 11 years. Okay, so it took that happened in May. I got arrested on a warrant. In June, I had my prelim. So by August or something, she was telling me that I had facing 11 years. So it was a cold time. I definitely didn't want to go to prison for something that I did not do, and I definitely felt like I needed justice because this dude threatened me. He's supposed to be a professional one. He threatens me, and that's even why I started recording. Then he tells me, threatens me again on camera, tell me he's gonna F me up. And for me telling him he wasn't gonna do nothing, he then, pretty much tried to destroy my property. He did. I had a necklace on, he broke that. I lost a pendant that I had, diamond pendant from Highline. I lost that. You know what I mean? He knocked my phone down, kept trying to swing on me, ripped my shirt all up. I'm trying to get him off of me. He talking about he came to preliminary hearing with his arm in a sling. Basically saying, I hurt him, great bodily injury, all this stuff, right? So let's rewind a little bit. So boom, let's take you, I bail out of jail. I'm like, damn, what am I do? I need to get a lawyer. Damn, they got me for all this stuff, $75,000, $7,500 to get out. Damn, it's 10% in San Francisco and California. Like, damn, what am I gonna do, man? Gotta get a lawyer. I can't let them railroad me on this. I got the video. I can't let a public defender railroad me. So boom, instantly start trying to find lawyers. The cheapest lawyer I found was 10 grand. I just came off 75 to bail out that I'm making payments on, and now you telling me I gotta pay you 10. Another lawyer told me 15. Another lawyer told me 25 because of the GBI. Oh, mind you, with the GBI, great bodily injury, I was facing 2 strikes. 2 strikes. from this dude attacking me. So yeah, it was a trying time for me, but this is what made me get into the law stuff. I said, you know what? I'm not letting them railroad me. Not only was I not paying it, because I had the 10, but that was almost down there all the money I had. I didn't have 20, I didn't have 15. I'm like, and even if I was able to set up payments, which they would have let me do that, I was like, I'm not coming off that for the lawyer. I'm gonna study the law, go to the law library, and I'm gonna tell my public defender everything to do, and I'm not taking no deals. That's what I told myself. So from May till January 2019, I fought this case, okay? I fought this case from May to January 2019. So let's do the math. May to June is 1, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 8 months I fought this case, stressing that I was gonna do 10 years in California State Prison for this weirdo stuff, you know what I mean? So, disclaimer, you know what I mean? Don't get in a confrontation with them. I was hot-headed, I was upset, I shouldn't have even confronted them, you know what I mean? Hindsight is 20/20, so to you young kids out there, don't get in any altercation like that because it can go left that easily. So just walk away, you know, just pay the ticket, bro. It's not that serious. $75, $80 ticket, $7,500 to bail out, facing 10 years in prison. So I wasn't going out like that. I started studying on my phone, Google. I started going to the law library. Started reading books. I started reading up on the law. I started reading up on defenses that I had, self-defense. So boom. But my first public defender, she was a straight B. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. She didn't seem like she was working with me. At the preliminary hearing, she was asking questions that it's like, dude, we got the video, like we could shut this dude down. She basically like facilitated the stuff. This is how I felt. You know, she'll probably tell you different, but I ain't trust her, man. And you know, we kept bumping heads. And I'll tell you, if you watched my last part 2 of my last video, I saw how I was telling her what to do, what I wanted to do, and she told me that I wasn't a lawyer. And I said, it don't matter that I'm a lawyer. I have the information, and this is my life. You get paid regardless. You don't care, this ain't your life. She was pregnant at the time, so I wasn't trying to go too hard on her. But I talked to a few lawyers, consultations for free, and they was like, well, you know, she got a boss, you know, you can, you know, complain, and you could ask for another public defender. So I called her boss. So she didn't want to listen to me. She thought she was just going to punk me. I said, hey, I want another lawyer. She didn't like that. But then she knew I was about business. But by October, I went from facing whatever it was, 8-9 years to now I got 11 years or 2, because they enhanced my charges after preliminary hearing. And the DA, he was man, I'm keeping it YouTube friendly. That's why I bleeped out we edited out all the cussing, but on the video. But this DA dude, he was you know what, man. So anyway, boom. I'm like, no, I'm not going for nothing. They try to offer me whatever. They try to offer me probation, but I had to take like a strike and this and that. No, go to trial, going to trial. So boom, a lot of stuff happened. We fast forward in October, November. I wanted another public defender so bad, and at this point I'm thinking like, damn, should I just hire an attorney? But now it got later in the game, so now I'm talking about going to trial. So the attorney's gonna even want more money because there's more money for trial. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like basically stuck with the public defender. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to just make sure So I'm just reading, searching, researching, you know, keeping up. And that's when I broke down discovery in the last video. That video was discovery, evidence, keeping all my evidence, keeping everything. My aggressive guy, man, I think November, December hit, it was about holiday time. And I told you my public defender was pregnant. So they kept continuing, because I said I was going to trial. I'm not taking no deal. So boom, boom, they keep pushing on. And I guess they have a couple of pre-trial conference and all that stuff. So that kept getting postponed. So bam, thank God, boom, she leave out on maternity leave. So I'm not gonna say their names. I think they still work down there. They definitely still are lawyers. I'm not gonna put their names out there. But if they ever see this video, they know who the heck I'm talking to, man. And the lady that was pregnant, man, you don't know what the heck you was talking about. I got off and I won settlements because I was wrongly done. So you didn't know what the hell you was talking about. You know what I mean? And if this wasn't YouTube, I'll tell you what I think of you. But anyway, boom, I get another public defender. She was it was like night and day. You know, she listened to everything I said. I said, this is what we doing. She just did what I told her to do. I said, she's like, oh, you knowledgeable about this stuff. I said, yeah, man. I had 8 months to learn this stuff, and I'm not going to prison for this. We gotta have to go to the box. So the DA, he switched DAs too. Boom. So mind you, we in January now. And so I never forget. It was like some on-call stuff. Like it was so deep in the thing. It was like I didn't have to show up to my court date, but I had to be on call. And if they called me, I need to be there within 2 hours. So boom, I'm sitting there. You know, it's like January, whatever. I forget the exact date. But we in a new year now. I'm still fighting. I'm stressing. Like, dang, I'm taking it all the way to the box, facing 11 years. You know, I got a public defender. You know, I gotta get this. So boom, they still offer me bogus stuff. They offer me like 5 years probation. They offer me, you gotta take the assault and battery, but no jail time, but you have to pay restitution. I'm like, I'm not doing, no. So he like, man, well, that's the best I could do. So I was like, well, let's take it to trial. So then, this was early in the morning, like on whatever day it was. It's like 8 in the morning, the day had just started. She's like, he don't want to take your thing. I said, we're going to trial. She's like, all right, well, I'm set up, we're going to trial. It'll be in like 2 weeks. So boom, I'm like, man, I'm getting my mind ready for trial. Like, hopefully this tape, you know, my testimony and the evidence I have, and hopefully we can, you know, show that he was wrong and this and that he was lying, you know, because he just said, I just walked up to him and said, hey, all his expletives, you give me an effing ticket. And then he said, he in his report, he said he was all polite, and I just bombed on him. I just took off on him, started whooping on him. And at the time I was working out and stuff, so I did slang him around, but this was after a year, so he telling like I'm slamming him, all this stuff. He went and got a fake doctor's report, said he did all this stuff. He was just bogus, man. But what he was trying to get paid time off, and he was trying to send me up the river. So anyway, long story short, I told him, we're taking it to trial. Boom. 2 hours later, I get a text. He wants to offer you another deal. He wants to know what you will take. What type of deal would you take? And I said, the only deal I would take is no time, no nothing. But what I did do, I was disorderly. I'll take a disorderly conduct, which can be charged as an infraction or a misdemeanor. I said, I'll take disorderly conduct. That's all I'll take. No jail time, dismiss everything. I'll take disorderly conduct. That's the only deal I'll take. Other than that, let's go to trial. So she's like, okay, I'll run it by him. We're talking through text, mind you. Boom. She texts me back, oh no, you don't want to take that. He said, we'll just go to trial. I said, all right, go to trial. Boom, get my mind back ready for trial. Which, mind you, I've never been to a criminal trial. So I'm like, I guess everything happens once. I say everything happens once. So, okay, I guess I'm going to trial. Boom. Another hour goes by, text back. He said, give you the disorderly conduct, but 2 counts and a $400 fine. There was like there were infractions. There was misdemeanors. There were misdemeanors, but there were small misdemeanors, and there was $200 fine, so it was like a $400 fine. And so, as you can see here, boom, dismiss. The felonies, 3 felonies, holding up to 11 years with 2 strikes, dismiss. All due to my studying, my know-how, and me going to take them all the way. I'm not going for no deal. All for me studying, going to the law library, telling my, not falling for my first public defender's antics, and quarterbacking my new public defender, because you work for me. So this is what we're doing. And she was so good at that, man. And when I got my settlement, I was so tempted to call her and ask her out to dinner because she was attractive. But let's stay on focus. I got them 3 charges dismissed. Now I did have to take the misdemeanor disorderly conduct, okay? But I was a little disorderly, you can see from the video. But he caused me to be that, but I'm gonna take some accountability. I was disorderly, so I took a disorderly conduct. No jail time, no nothing, $400 fine, 2 counts. They gave me 2 counts of it. And it was so crazy that when we was in court and the judge came out and he seen the deal, he almost was like, hold on. He took him back to chambers. Like, I thought he was gonna mess the deal up. But my public defender said the DA was like, well, we can't really prove that someone on the tape. This guy was lying. You could tell so he didn't want to pursue it because it cost like $50K to go to trial. So a lesson to you people that might have a criminal case. Now, depending on your circumstance, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you from my experience. Go push them to their limit. Don't just take a deal because I could have got a strike. I wouldn't have got no jail time, but that would have been on my record. And it was a violent crime, I would have had a strike. The other thing that offered me wasn't a strike, but it was still a felony. There was an F. And it was admitting that I battered the dude, and then if I would have got that, I would have had to pay restitution to this dude, which meant I would pay his doctor bills and whatever else they wanted to charge me for. So I knew I wasn't doing that because dude attacked me. Dude knocked my phone. I lost my chain and my little pendant I had from, it was a little pendant, it wasn't that stupid expensive, but it was expensive enough. It was diamonds. I lost that. I lost, you know what I'm saying? I almost lost the way I was making my money. I almost could have lost my income. I had to bail out all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not taking nothing. I put it all on the line. So the longer you drag your case out and the more you push the issue, they don't really want to spend that money if they don't think they can win. So it was unheard of. Even the judge was like, hold on. He seen what my charges that he was dismissing and what I had. You don't just go from serious felonies, holding state prison time, to a fine. But I did that. So that gave me the confidence and I also knew if I paid him restitution or if I pleaded guilty to anything to saying I was guilty of assaulting this dude, I couldn't come back after him and sue him. And I told my public defender that I said, I want to come back and sue this. And she wasn't like the first public defender, but she was like, oh, it's really hard to do that. So if you're watching this, my public defender, my second public defender, I ain't gonna say your name on here. It is hard, but it's possible. And I did it. I sued them. I sued the police for lying on the police report. I sued the SFMTA for having a negligent, disorderly worker out there, and I sued the city and county of San Francisco, and I won a settlement from this case. So yeah, it wasn't easy, but I did it. And that was all because I didn't take that deal. So this is a little criminal video. This is the story time and how I got into this. So once that was in, I think, January 2019 I got off, and I had some time. You know, I still had to get my bearings together. I had to study a little bit. I think by October of that year I filed. I think even before that, I think maybe July, August, because I sued separate. I sued the SFPD for my bail back, and I sued the SFMTA for the tort, which ended up being pretty smart because I sued the police in small claims court. I won, they appealed it, and they got off on qualified immunity, but I still had SFMTA and regular court on the hook. So it's basically like I had 2 legs. So boom, I was suing them. I think I sued for $200,000. It was 6 figures I sued for. And I didn't know that I could sue for whatever I wanted at that time. But yeah, and I ended up getting a settlement. It was minute compared to what I was sued for, but it was still a nice chunk of change, and it definitely was worth me doing that. So this video is getting long, but I just wanted to show y'all how I got started, how, you know, all this came about. Now I have a civil case. I can't talk about my other settlement, it's confidential, and I'm not giving my settlement money back. So currently I have the case against Avis, and I'm still waiting. We're at the point where they're trying to get it dismissed. We've been battling back and forth, and I checked the ledgers, they still haven't decided. So no news is good news in this business sometimes. So hopefully I'll be making a video about going to the next phase of that. And I have 2 other cases, one against my HOA and one against another company. And I don't have a lawyer, but me going through that process and winning the other settlements after that have given me the experience. And there's people in law school that don't have a settlement from the San Francisco City Attorney. It's actual lawyers that don't have that don't win. You know what I mean? So I have more bragging rights over than some lawyers. So I'm glad y'all stuck around. I know this video got long, but it was story time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. Never give up, never quit, never just settle for anything, and you gotta go to the box. Fight. That's what it's all about in legal, criminal, civil, whatever. Child custody, we're gonna do some videos on that because I have the baby mama from hell, and I'm gonna tell you how I did my court battles for joint custody and child support, probate, whatever it is you wanna fight tooth and nail, and you wanna bring the jury out. We're gonna go to the wheels fall. And 9 times out of 10, if they don't really have a case on you, the DA will fold as they did in this, and they're gonna give you what you want. And he asked me what I was gonna take, and I told him disorderly conduct. Even though that kind of backfired on me because I want to get my record expunged, so I try to do it myself, get my record sealed. And since that happened in between the time that I got off of my last probation, from the time when you can get it sealed, it happened in between that time, I couldn't do it. So now I had to pay thousands of dollars to some actual lawyers to get that cleaned up. I tried to apply for the pardon in California, but Gavin Newsom didn't respond. So, you know, you want to avoid altercations at all costs, okay? But this was another video on how I got into the legal process, so maybe now you have an understanding of how that I know about this stuff and how I'm making stuff happen, how I'm actually winning settlements. And this next cases, I don't think I'll be taking a settlement. I want to go to full way, unless the settlement is too good to turn down. So go ahead, comment, man. Don't be shy. If it's something you want me to talk about, comment. If you're going through something, comment. I'll do a video on it. Because I do have a vast knowledge of this stuff. And if it's criminal to civil, whatever, let me know. Go on and like, share, subscribe, man. Let's let this channel grow. Because I will be doing more stuff, but I want y'all to learn from me, learn from my experience, and I want to actually vlog this and share with y'all what I'm going through, and we can do this together, man. And when I win that big bag, I'm gonna be that influencer that you wanna see pulling up, you know what I mean? And when you see my new this and that. So go ahead, man. Support your boy, man. Peace.
West side. It's Big Bread Governor, hotter than the oven. So my 40 cows my gal, and yes, I'm loving her. Always shoving slugs.